How we doing, folks? I learned something this week, and I wanted to post a quick video about it. This right here up on top in my tank is a silver molly that I've had since she was born. All the fish in this tank have been born in the tank. Learned something a little bit about pellets and wafers and why you want to be careful when you're feeding them. This girl has had a kind of a swim bladder issue. She's doing a lot better today, but I started treating it. But the other day I came home, she was completely vertical in the water, head down, and it was weird. I'd never seen it before. I'm newer in the hobby, only 5 years in, but now she's up swimming around. There's some peas there on the ground. This is part of kind of how I'm treating it. You can see a couple of peas there. But I learned something with wafers, and I want to show you something that I did, which was a mistake on my part. See how she's still kind of struggling a little bit, almost going vertical again. But at least now she's trying to right herself. She did eat some peas finally, and that's good because for a whole day yesterday, she's going back. Oh, now she's eating the pea. That's good. She was just hanging there vertical and wasn't moving, wasn't eating, wasn't doing anything. Let me show you the mistake I think I made, just to let you guys know about it. So here's where I think the problem was. See these algae wafers, which I love, and I've got a bristlenose pleco that loves them. They're made for bottom feeders. I think there's a reason for that. What I wanted to show you guys, and I think this is what happened to my molly, is I put a wafer in a little dish of water and let it sit overnight, and I've got one over here on the left. The one on the left is dry. You can see, I know it broke apart a little bit in the water, but can you see the expansion of that wafer? I think what happens is when these pellets and these wafers, which are, other fish can eat but are not specifically designed for them, you see how they expand? Now this took overnight, the one on the right. So in her stomach all night, what happened the other night was I had fed a wafer and broke it up into pieces to my bristlenose, and the molly just got a huge piece of it and ate a good quarter of one of these wafers. And I think it expanded in her stomach, just like you're seeing the expansion here. I think that pressed against her swim bladder, and I think that was part of the problem. So just be careful when you're using wafers and pellets with other regular fish. Just understand it's going to expand in their stomach, and that can cause issues. So if you're going to feed them a whole wafer, feed them half or a quarter. But I think that's the problem. Now, she's doing a lot better now. Here's what I did to treat the swim bladder, and she was vertical, head down. First thing I did is I got some Epsom salt. I've been doing some research on that, and I put about half a tablespoon in my 20-gallon tank. So a little Epsom salt bath. It's supposed to help with constipation. It's supposed to help force some of that stuff out. I'm trying it. It seems like it's working. And then I'm dosing the tank with Melafix, which is just kind of a bacterial, it treats bacterial infections. So, I think if there's something outlying that, if there's a bacteria, I'm not sure. I'm just trying to be preventative here, but it seems like it is working. The other thing I did is I turned the heat up on the aquarium. I got it up to 80 degrees, and I'm not feeding my fish anything but peas. Here's the peas that I've been feeding them. What I did is I took some frozen peas, took them out, blanched them on the stove for about 3 minutes. They got nice and soft, and then you can just squeeze the shell of the pea off, and you've got just the regular pea. So I've been feeding these for the last 2 days, nothing else, no processed food. And from what I've researched, I know a lot of people use peas. It helps. It's not, the intestinal wall of a fish isn't attached to the swim bladder, but what this will help do is flush out anything in the intestinal wall, any air or any food that's expanded, case in point right here, and it'll help force it out of the fish. It'll help hopefully relieve the pressure on the swim bladder. So if you see a fish that's, in my case in 5 years I've never really seen this, but again I never really, usually these wafers I feed at night if I feed them. I feed my pleco a lot of vegetables, so I was lazy that night. I just threw a whole wafer in. I split it into fours. The pleco ate probably half of it, but the other fish got the rest. So, if you find that your fish is vertical, head down in the water, otherwise healthy after that, this is what I'm assuming the problem is, and I will give you guys another update to see how she's doing. Have a great week. And a quick update on my molly, guys. This is 2 days later. This is after the Epsom salt bath. After treating the tank with Melifix and feeding her peas, she's fine. Not vertical anymore, swimming around, no problem. So, I don't know what it was. I have a suspicion that it was the food expanding in her stomach, putting it's that silver molly up on top, putting pressure on the swim bladder. But she's healthy. She's back at it. And whether it was the Epsom salt or the peas or the Melifix, whatever it was, she is good to go. So just, as a note, when you're feeding pellets and feeding wafers, just make sure, just take into account rather, that they do expand in their stomach and can cause some issues. So whatever it was that was hurting her, she is good to go. Although it was a rare issue, I hope that helps somebody if your fish is swimming head down vertical. Maybe that gives you some insight if they're otherwise healthy and fine and you come home one day and notice that. Hopefully this video will help you guys. Have a great weekend. Now I can sit back and enjoy the 20, and I've got another build to do on a 2.6 gallon desktop. Take care, guys.